As the famous quote states, there's three things in life that are inevitable. That's life, taxes, and death. But what they also forgot to mention was the fourth one, which is a recession. And as you watch this in 2020, my only advice is to brace yourself. Now, a few months ago, I actually spoke about the UK property market. And months before that on my Instagram, I spoke about my thoughts as we were about to hit lockdown. And I'm not here to blow my own trumpet or call myself the next Nostradamus or Mystic Meg, but so far, I've been on the money. However, this is the one instance I kind of wish I get proved wrong, because right now I'm actually praying we don't hit a recession, but sometimes we can't just have blind positivity and forget the facts of what's currently going on in the world today as we speak. And more importantly, for this video in the UK and in regards to the property market. So furlough has stopped as we are now in the middle of October. And while Mr. Rishi conjures up some other plan, we are seeing consistent increases in unemployment. And I just want to stick on unemployment for a while because it's a very, very important aspect to this video. And I want to run through some figures with you. You see, estimates from May to July in 2020 showed 1.4 million people were unemployed. That's 104,000 more than the year earlier and 62,000 more than the previous quarter. And when we look into this into a little bit more detail in regards to maybe the age and the estimated number of people who are unemployed from 16 to 24, this has increased by 76,000 on the year to a total of 563,000. Now, this is pretty worrying stuff. And to make things sound even more morbid, if we focus on the duration of employment that people are undergoing, i.e. those who have been unemployed for up to 6 months, we are seeing a larger increase, an increase by 202,000 over the year, amassing a total of 988,000. And just to keep this video really upbeat, a final nail in the coffin, redundancies have also increased by 58,000 on the year and 48,000 on the quarter to a total of 156,000. Now, before I lose you, I'm going to give you some maybe kind of silver lining, because although these are the largest rises that we've actually seen since the fourth quarter of 2012, they actually are below the figures we witnessed back in 2008. Now, does this mean it won't be as bad as 2008? Who knows? Probably not. However, we can still be hopeful and somewhat optimistic. But the next part of this video will actually focus on my actual perspective in terms of what I truly believe is now going to happen and what you should all brace yourselves for. But before we do that, let's of course do the one thing that we all need to do, and the one thing that isn't actually going to change over the next 6 months, and that's for you to hit that like button. And just so you know, it'll cost you absolutely nothing, and tonight you can sleep knowing that you made a grown man, well, pretty happy. But moving on my thoughts on what I think is now going to happen in 2021, moving on from what I shared in this video over here, I'm just going to elaborate a little bit more. So as we have seen stamp duty reductions play their part in this kind of weird mini house price boom, I would like to take this graph that is flying around the internet, and I won't claim to be mine, and explain where I believe we are right this second. We are there. Yep, where that little arrow is flying around, that's where I believe we are. And although it's difficult to understand how long before we actually drop, almost like being on a roller coaster, we are going to drop sadly. So what does that mean? Well, it means house prices will fall in price as people won't be able to afford them, even with the existing stamp duty regulations. How can people continue to buy if they're being made redundant and unemployment is continuing to rise? What also happens when businesses fail, from the big businesses to self-employed businesses and even our favorite hospitality ones that we know so well? Well, I'm sure you know the answer, and that's sadly that people will be laid off and have a lot less disposable income and be forced to either downsize, sell, or even find themselves struggling with mortgage or rental payments and having to jump ship. And of course, this is just going to crush the economy as a whole. And it's why I keep banging on the drum and encouraging people to do the following. Please do the following if you have the ability to. Save your money, as during a recession, cash is king more than ever. Secondly, increase your skill set because you want to be invaluable to the marketplace. And remember, the marketplace will also fire skilled workers too. So if they know a person, for example, earns £100,000, but they can be replaced with 2 people for £25,000, you bet your top dollar they're going to do that. Next up, I need you to make yourself as recession proof as possible. And this includes working on your mind too. This is not just a skill set game. How you react to this situation will influence your ability to bounce back. We can't choose the cards we are dealt, but we can definitely take control of how we play them. And moving on from that, you should know that when you purchase properties, when they do fall in price in 2021, maybe 2022, as I'm predicting, you would have locked in some long-term equity. But that's the key here, long-term. And you would need to be willing to sit on this for a while. So make sure you have a purpose when you purchase your properties. Quick turnarounds will be less likely, in my opinion. And finally, number 5, please don't spend your money on anything or anyone that tells you how to make money in this economy, because they're the only ones that are going to be making money off yourselves. We are almost spoiled with access to free, good information at the tip of your fingertips, and you'll be able to learn so much from channels like this one, where I share brutal honesty about the everyday truth of being a property investor. But there's so many other resources out there as well for absolutely free. So please don't fall for their free, well, not really free, webinars and any of these ads that you see bouncing around. You can learn everything that you need now, get your brain right, get your mindset right, and then be ready to pounce when the recession kicks in. So anyways, that's all I had planned for this little video. I just wanted to give an update in relation to the people that are following this channel and explain some of the bizarre, weird things that are going on, like this mini house price boom. But we are definitely in a seller's market. So if you have something to sell, and only sell it if it's part of your long-term strategy and you're eager to spend that cash elsewhere, then definitely sell it now. But one thing I do want to urge you all to do is have a long-term plan, because if you pull the trigger and buy something now that's in an overinflated market, if you come to refinance in 2, maybe 5 years time and the property has crashed as I predict, you will find yourself most likely in negative equity. You may find yourself not being able to refinance with another lender, and you may just be put on a variable rate, which then will cause you to either give up that home or hemorrhage your own incomings on a daily basis. So that's something that you really want to be mindful for. And it's not something that people are going to tell you, because, well, not everyone has your best interests at heart, because everyone's, well, trying to sell you something. And on that note, I look forward to seeing you on the next video. Thanks for watching.